What's going on YouTube, Facebook? Everybody doing tonight? This is another episode of 7175. I'm your host, Marcus J, as you already know. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as well as hit that bell icon for any notifications when I'm going live, when I got a report coming up, etc., etc. As you've seen in the description tonight, me and Lorenzo, my man Lorenzo Fairley here, is going to be covering two big topics out of the NBA over the last 2 days. And the real big topic of the day is the Draymond Green and Kevin Durant interview from Draymond Green's new show, Chips, which I'm gonna lie you, Lorenzo, when I was surfing on YouTube, surfing for content, etc., looking shit up to see what I could talk about today, this was the last thing that I expected to see people cross. You know what I mean? But there it was. You know what I mean? Like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You know what I mean? Anybody, us as sports fans, and you're a basketball fan, etc. This is the interview for so long that we've wanted to see.
Everybody was waiting for.
Yes. These two in the same room talking about what happened in Golden State, etc., etc. So, with that being said,
obviously 2021.
Yes, honestly. Or in honest terms, what was it, 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
2019.
No, I'm talking about 22 years later.
Yeah, yes. But with that being said, man, I'll be honest, there was a lot of interesting excerpts from this interview. A lot of things they said interesting, but I'm gonna kick off with you. I sent you the link. You know what I mean? You watched the video, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What was your takeaway from Draymond Green and Kevin Durant's interview? But we're gonna did you watch the entire interview or you just watch the clip that I sent you?
I watched the clip that you sent me.
Okay.
And just from the clip alone, just seeing the side of Kevin Durant and Draymond where they're both being themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they're two grown men who are athletes who respects each other's game. And Draymond wasn't scared to ask him, like, okay, how did you feel when people thought that you was always jumping ship? Like you done went from high school to high school growing up, and then you ended up going to college, and then after college you went to 3 different teams. He was like, everywhere I went, I grew. Everywhere I went, I grew. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of people don't understand about these athletes when they come into the league so young. You know, every time you turn around, everybody, I was all happy and giddy. That's what he said. When he was in Seattle, from Seattle to OKC, a lot of people don't know, this generation don't know. Oklahoma City used to be the Seattle Supersonics.
Mm-hmm.
He played alongside Gary Payton, Ray Allen.
He played with Ray. Gary was retired at that time.
Yeah, Gary ended up going to Miami.
Yeah, he
ended up going to Miami after LA. But he did play 1 or 2 seasons with Ray Allen. You know what I mean? Yeah. Before they shipped him out and they broke down and sent him to OKC. So he was a kid. You know what I mean? Boom, he grew into a man, went to Golden State. He said, I did what I could do. He said, if I didn't care about the game so much, I wouldn't have played 78 games that season. You know what I mean? And then they addressed the elephant in the room. And this goes to show how organizations run, where, okay, he's our star player, and you shouldn't talk to him like that or whatever. First of all, I'm a grown man. The only man that says that I owe them an apology is that man. Point blank. You know what I'm saying? And they still had love for each other, and they done spoke to each other after that incident and everything. You know what I mean? But KD didn't like the way management didn't handle things, and neither did Draymond. You know what I'm saying? So they killed that elephant in the room, and that was the whole main thing. Because everybody was probably all hyped, like, yeah, oh, I wonder what they're gonna talk about. No, it's friendly competition. That's all. That's why I'm glad they got that out the way so the fans will know, oh, You know what I mean? It's a business, but we still friends. You know?
Yes.
Pippen sat out a whole game. I didn't know. I mean, I seen The Last Dance. I seen it. And I didn't know they was calling Pippen all types of punks and all that when he sat out. You know what I mean? But then Mike was a hard boy. You know what I mean? You know. But then you already know how the NBA rock. You know what I'm saying? But true. It was lovely just seeing them, you know what I'm saying, politic like that. Yes. You know what I mean? I thought about Shaq and Kobe when they did their interview. I thought about Magic and Isaiah when they did their interview. And it's sad because Draymond and KD, that little argument on the sideline on the bench wasn't that serious compared to the beef that Isaiah and Magic had and the beef that Shaq and Kobe had. You know what I mean? So, you know, it was just a media hype because they don't think that they spoke ever since that last little argument they had before he left. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, that's why he left, because they had that argument. Nah. I had a better opportunity. I accomplished what I would have accomplished. And Draymond said it. If you wouldn't have got hurt, we would have three-peated. You know what I mean? So if he had any type of animosity towards his former teammate, he wouldn't have gave him props like that. He respected him as a ball player. He said, you're 7 foot and you never played a center or the 4. It's fantastic.
He's one of those once in a lifetime talents
that's being overshadowed by LeBron.
Yeah, and that is fairly true. That is fairly true. My takeaway from the interview, most of it I agree, but I will say this. I mean, we all know how organizations can be, et cetera, et cetera. We know how especially behind closed doors, you don't want to piss off. You don't want to piss off the golden goose.
Right.
And I understand that notion. I understand that. But also as men, I kind of feel like to a little slight degree, they kind of did throw more to blame on an organization than themselves. My thing is this: as men, y'all had that blow up. You know what I mean? Y'all had that blow up. So to some degree, the organization, in all honesty, ain't got nothing to do with that. That's for you two as men to sit there, be men, talk about it as a team as that, and say, look, this is not how we should be treating each other. We shouldn't be calling each other bitches. We shouldn't be calling each other out of character names. We shouldn't be doing this and that. Now let's mend these fences and go get this title. And to some degree, I feel like it was half and half. They half took responsibility, but then they threw the dirt on the organization. Now, much to their credit, though, what they said was not entirely false, because Steve Kerr and the organization did try to throw the situation just under the bus. Like, oh, it's not that serious.
Yeah, they didn't want them to address it.
Yes. And my thing is this, to some degree, we could say it ain't that serious, but I'd like to think as a man, when a man calls another man out of his name, that is a pretty serious situation, especially in front of an audience.
Thousands of people.
Thousands of people. You know what I mean?
No, my fault. Millions of people, because it was a television game.
Yes, exactly.
It was a television game, so it was millions of people.
Yes, exactly. And another excerpt, and I love the realness, though. That was the main thing, my main takeaway from this. It was so authentic. Nothing was scripted. Nothing was monotoned. This was uncut, raw, uncensored from the horse's mouth. And that's what I really loved about this interview, is that you felt it. Everything they said was real and from the heart. You know what I mean? And what I really liked about the interview is how before they talked about before getting to Golden State, what led you to leave OKC? Because to me, nobody really ever asked Kevin Durant that question. They never really did.
All the interviews he ever did, they never asked him, why did you choose to leave?
It was, why would you do this? It wasn't, why did you? Like,
did you do it? Would you? Yeah.
That's like, why would you do this? That was the question. You know what I mean? It's not, why did you do this? And he laid it out point blank, period. He said, listen, man, after we lost that finals, he said, I got tired of everybody thinking I was Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky. Oh, I'm happy too.
and he didn't know what his role was.
Yes.
And OKC, he said, I didn't know if they wanted me to pass, they
Yes.
wanted me to shoot. I didn't know what they wanted me to do. When I got to Golden State, they told me what to do, and that was it.
Yeah.
And Draymond co-signed his hard work ethic and everything he put in. Once he knew what his position was when he got there, that's what made him the caliber player, the Hall of Fame caliber player that he should be a year or two after he retired.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And see, for me, like I said, going back to the OKC thing, the biggest thing about that was what Kevin said about, I got tired of people saying, oh, yeah, it was okay. You know, you guys did good. You guys did okay. You know what I mean?
No,
hey, second place isn't bad. No, I'm tired of being second place. I want to be first.
First, exactly.
You know what I mean? So if I can't be first here, I'm going to go to a place where
I'm going to be first.
And that's the truth. Because the Warriors, as soon as they knew they was going to get Kevin Durant, they reconstructed their entire way they played basketball around Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is the truth.
And that's the first time Golden State had 4 players as all-stars.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
Both of the Splash brothers were all-stars when KD got there, and Draymond.
Yes. Now, my thing is this. Why I liked what Kevin had to say in terms of why he went to Golden State is because, and he said it, you know, fuck what people say. That went out the window. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I control my own destiny. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of fans, I feel like, don't understand. You hear a lot of fans give people like LeBron and KD the shit because, they need super teams to win. Man, my thing is this.
They don't know. See, that with the super teams, what people fail to realize is this, right? When you have Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen, Clyde Drexler, and Hakeem Olajuwon on the same team, that's not a super team.
Absolutely. Even though you were at an advanced age, it's still a super team based on name value.
There you go. When you got Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Gary Payton, and Karl Malone, that's not a super team.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
But you want to know why? You want to know why they don't look at that as like they look at what LeBron and KD is, because a lot of those guys who went to those teams were out of their prime and weren't in the middle of their prime like these guys are. That's why they give them shit. My thing is this. Much like those older players back in the day, when they couldn't win a championship on a team they was with for so long, and they
went someplace else.
And when they went to the championship team, like Gary Payton and Karl Malone did with the Lakers, nobody had a problem with that. My thing is this, it shouldn't matter whether they're out of their prime or not. If they want to go play with the best players in the world, why not? Have at it.
If that team could afford them, let them get them.
Exactly. My thing is this. And this is also, I guess, why it is why the New York Yankees are so hated. You know what I mean? Because what was George Steinbrenner's philosophy? You go out and you spend the best money can buy. I am going to get the best players available. Simple and plain.
Chips, baby. Chips. That's the only organization that you can say bought all their championships.
Yes. But when you think about it, that's the smart thing to do, because you look at it, especially from a marketing standpoint. They're one of the biggest brands in all of sports and in all of American products.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, let me tell you something. Every Chinese and every Japanese player want to play for the Yankees.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that's why growing up in Guatemala, Cuba, and Mexico playing baseball besides soccer, they want to grow up to be a Yankee.
Yeah.
I want to be like Alex Rodriguez. I want to be like Derek Jeter. I want to be like Ricky Henderson.
That's true. What I'm saying? And that's what a lot of fans, the casual and the diehard NBA fans, they're so stuck on the old ways of, you do it with 2 superstars and then a bunch of role players. No, who are you to tell these organizations and these players what they should do?
Technically, you do. Technically, a championship can be won without any superstars. Just
absolutely.
talented ball players, and some hardcore defense. See,
Yes.
the style of basketball is more Euro now. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
the days of the big men, here you go. Just imagine Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson,
Mm,
Robert Parrish
mm.
in today's game. And I know I left out a few, but just
Yeah.
imagine them in today's game. And then imagine our players today like Kevin Durant, because you 7 foot, they're gonna make you play center back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dirk Nowitzki, you 7 foot, they making you play center back then. You know what I'm saying? Zion, you already know what it is. Him and Joel Embiid and Giannis. You're not running up and down the court with the basketball like that. You're
Nope.
pick and rolling and you're rolling to the paint or you're sitting up in the block.
That's the
You
truth.
know what I mean? So here we go. Ever since the 92 Olympics and the Dream Team, that set the stage for European style basketball,
Oh, absolutely.
where they started moving the 3-point line. You know what I'm saying? Over there, they professional athletes at the age 15, 16, 17, 18. And then they come to America, go to college, and go back to their country and play professional basketball. American athletes, they stay in high school, college, then the NBA. While these dudes done played half the globe. They come into the NBA and look at them as animals. You know what I mean? But the league is different now. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
with
the truth.
with the way it's going now, like KD said, I never played center a day in my life, 4 or 5. I just started playing the 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know,
That's a
I
fact.
like
And
I
and
like
and that's what I'm saying. Like I said, when I first saw this interview come across my feed, I'm like, nah, there's no way. But then when I actually seen them two as a thumbnail of them two sitting on the couch, I'm like, okay, this is going to be the topic for the day right here. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And like I said, these two, like I said, everything was real, everything was authentic. You know what I mean? The two main parts that I focused on was, like I said, the OKC and the Golden State, because that was the bread and butter. That's what we wanted to know.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And
yeah,
so we wanted to know, especially now, and like Draymond straight up asked him, you know what I mean? Was our argument the reason why I left? You know what I mean? And
yeah,
to me, it wasn't even what that was telling about the situation. What was telling about the situation is when Draymond told Durant that front office wanted him to apologize, and basically Draymond even straight up said, "I'm not going to apologize." Like,
yeah.
you know
Y'all not gonna make me apologize to
yeah,
that
well, you're
man.
not gonna make me apologize. Me and him gonna handle this on our own. What are you
Oh,
guys gonna do about it? And
yeah,
I think that from this interview, if I'm a lot of other organizations outside of Golden State, I think this should be a valuable lesson that if you have superstars that tend to have a blow up, this is how
let them
you
deal with it on their own. Mind your business.
this is not how you not handle it to where it gets
Right.
to where this point got to with these two. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think like every team around the league should take notes from this interview.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Now, as we know, a lot of them probably won't give a damn, unfortunately, because that's just
No.
how organizations are ran.
Let me tell you
You know what I
something.
mean?
It's marketing. It's marketing.
Yes, it's marketing.
Marketing.
Absolutely. Yep.
Marketing.
It's a
That's it.
storyline.
You know how many jerseys Draymond just sold after the interview? You know how
Him
many
and Durant
Brooklyn
both.
KD? You know how many Brooklyn KD jerseys? Let me tell you something. I haven't been able to find a Big Three jersey the whole 2 years I was in New York.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
And
all gone.
I'm right there at the Barclays Center. I'm right there at the Barclays Center. You know what I mean?
Doesn't
You
surprise me,
know.
man. Doesn't surprise me at
Yeah.
all. But
Yeah. Shit,
I'm
man.
glad this interview happened because, like I said, it got down to the point. It got to what we wanted to know. You know what I mean? But for me,
Yeah.
but for me personally, the most interesting thing was, like I said, the OKC story. why I left
Yeah.
OKC. This was the reason. I'm tired of being second place. I'm tired of
Yeah.
people thinking that I should settle for less. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And a lot of fans, of course, a lot of fans are going to heckle him on Twitter and say, "Oh, whatever, you're still soft or whatever." But no, we as people have the right to choose our own destination. You know what I mean? Just like I had the right to say, you know what, do I want to keep working a somewhat decently paid job by minimum wage standards, or do I
Or
want to start making
have my own business and work from that.
exactly
Invest in myself and build
invest in
myself.
myself? Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
what I don't understand why a lot of fans give these guys like LeBron, KD, these guys who want to pair up and play with great players. What's wrong with wanting to surround yourself with a great team? I mean, I don't
See,
understand that.
you know what it is? Here I go. This is the funny thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the difference between me personally. My difference between Kevin Durant and LeBron is this. More niggas want to play with LeBron. Like
It's true.
LeBron, let me tell you something. This is the first time LeBron didn't quit on the team because he was under contract. This is the
That's
first
true.
time he didn't quit on the team since he was under contract. Because he was under contract. You know what I
That
mean?
is true.
Because if his contract was up and they lost the way they lost this season, he would have been gone. But he under contract.
Yep.
You know what I
That
mean?
is true.
And his option is not for like another year or two.
Yeah.
His option. So he's stuck. So now he like, all right, you know what? Get rid of him. KD said, I want to go play with Kyrie. You know what I mean? I want to go play with Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? James said, listen, me and KD, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you know what? This is why I left OKC, because me and Russell ain't get along.
Nope.
You dig? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
look, they both 1 and 2 behind each other every year when it comes to triple doubles.
That's the truth.
And
That is true.
and Westbrook been on Shaq and the Fool more than Harden has.
I mean, me personally, like I said, I just feel like a lot of people just need to cool it with this. Oh, you know, these super teams. You know what I mean?
Ain't no such thing as a super team.
These players.
You know who was a super
these players
team?
are the ones playing the game. These guys are the ones playing the game. Let them live their lives. Let them live their careers out. You know what I mean?
That's their job.
Yeah,
that's their job.
Exactly.
If I'm not satisfied at this job, you know what I'm saying? You know, here you go. If I can get a transfer to another part of the company, someplace else, transfer me. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like living in a city you've lived in for most of your life. It's like, I need a change of fucking scenery.
It's time to go.
It's time to go. It's time to be out of here.
Hey, yo, check this out. Every time I'm in Europe, I tell somebody, yo, 72 hours is too long for me. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was out there for a month. You know what I mean? You know.
Sometimes it be like, especially when you've been in a place for so long and you know it. You know what I mean? You just need a change of scenery. You know what I mean? Especially if things aren't going right. My thing is this. It's just like in basketball. It's just like in life. If things aren't going right, you know what I mean? You have to switch it up and maybe relocate to get on the right path in your life. The same thing as in basketball. If you are on a team that is not getting you to the pinnacle which you want to be, which is a champion, well, you got to go somewhere that does.
Yeah, if we want to talk about super teams, let's just talk about Tom Brady being a super team by his goddamn self. Go Wolverines, go blue. But you know what I'm saying? And then you had the Coke boys on the Cowboys, you know what I mean? Well, Troy Aikman wasn't, but you had Emmett, Dion, Prime Time, and motherfucking Michael Irvin. Woo, wee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
And see, that's the funny thing is, even in football, it's funny you say that. I'm glad you brought that up because you see it when they get these super teams together in football. Nobody says nothing.
No, every sport has a super team. You know how sick and tired I was of the Pittsburgh Penguins winning shit with Mario Lemieux?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's true.
Wayne Gretzky, here you go. I was sick and tired of Wayne Gretzky winning all them Stanley Cups until he came to New York and won one for the Rangers. You know what I mean? He finally got one from Mark Messier. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
you
Yeah,
know
bro.
what I mean?
Like that's, I mean, but like my overall takeaway from this interview, I'm glad these guys settled it. I'm glad these guys got the air cleaned out. You know what I mean? And in all honesty, I think they've been had this talk, but now they obviously put it to camera for everybody else to see. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I said, it was raw, it was authentic. I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like I said, to me, it just was very, very truthful and very, very insightful. Because as a basketball fan, you cannot help but wonder. And also, real quick before we move on to the next subject or whatever, what I liked is when Draymond brought up the fact about three-peating what KD said about if he hadn't got injured, they would have won that.
We was getting they would have got the three-peat.
And he said easily. KD said easily. He straight up said easily. Didn't give no credit to Toronto.
No.
Yeah, because it was the truth. That is the truth. If KD plays in that finals, Toronto don't stand a chance.
It's the truth, even without Clay. Because Clay got hurt first.
Yep, even without Clay. With KD on the court, they still would have won.
You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of people don't understand MVP caliber athletes.
They don't.
When it comes to the sport of basketball. Some people, like Michael Jordan, didn't become MVP right away.
No.
You know what I'm saying? First of all, he was, for real, there was a lot of people that was doubting him. There was a lot of people in the branding, you know what I'm saying? Like Nike, they doubted him. You know what I'm saying? So when that athlete turns the corner, you know what I'm saying? Like Kobe. Nobody never even heard of Kobe. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He turned in, you know what I'm saying? All these different athletes. So you shouldn't hate when someone gets accolades.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And we always know, you know what I'm saying? Us as fans, we see it like it is. We want the best team to win. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's our team. And if we're real sports fans and not bandwagoners, then we know that exactly what Kevin Durant said is the truth. If I won a guy hurt, we would repeat it. And Draymond co-signed it. You know what I'm saying? And Draymond co-signed it. You know what I mean? Kawhi, you couldn't do it by yourself.
No.
Until KD got hurt.
And that's the truth.
Then you started rocking and rolling.
And it's not to take away from the talent that Toronto has, because don't get me wrong.
They don't. Kyrie. I mean, Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, Fred Van had him.
Yo, let me tell you something.
Siakam's good.
But Siakam
with Kevin Durant on the court, that gets locked down because he matches up with Siakam.
Yeah. And see, Kawhi brought out the best in Siakam.
That's
because now he's not living up to that same potential he did during that championship run that they had.
That's the truth.
You know what I mean? That's one thing you got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look at what Kevin Durant was able to do without Kyrie and Harden. You look at what the other players around him were able to do with him on the court. Everywhere he's been at. You know what I'm saying? He's only been to 3 teams. He's not one of those guys that's a journeyman and been on 10 to 12 different teams in 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. You know what I'm saying? You know. So, when you look at his Hall of Fame progress, please don't discount KD. Please don't discredit him and give him his, you know what I'm saying? Give him his flowers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's going, you know what I'm saying? You know, he is that dude.
He is.
point blank.
He is.
You know what I
He
mean?
can do everything. He's a 7-footer who can literally do everything. He can
Yeah.
shoot. He can shoot the mid range.
Yeah.
He can post you up. He can slash. He can pass. He can
Oh
defend.
my
He can do
God.
literally
Let me tell you
everything.
something. He's my creative. Let me tell you something. You know, I'm my own creative player, right? I don't have to create no player on nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to create no players. That nigga's my 100 overall.
It's the truth.
You know what I mean? I just learned how to play 2K21.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I just learned how to play 2K21. I'm a PlayStation 3 dog. You know,
Word.
I got them on my Brooklyn Nets squad
Word.
on 15, 16, 17.
Word. But yeah, man, like my whole thing is before we get to the next topic, I'm gonna close it off
Yeah,
with
this is
this.
gonna be
I'm gonna close
hilarious.
this KD situation off with this, especially with people. You know what I mean, like I said, the problem is that so many people are so hooked on to the old days of Jordan. You know what I mean, like you said, and what they forget
Yeah.
about is that before Jordan started winning titles, before Scotty got there, Jordan was getting his ass whooped by Detroit every single year,
They
by
would
Boston every single year, by the Knicks every single year. Like
wait a
up
minute.
until
Don't forget,
Scotty
don't forget about Cleveland.
and
Cleveland
Cleveland,
was
yes,
the monkey he had to get
Cleveland,
off his
yes,
back to
yes,
even get his ass whipped by
yes,
Detroit.
that's true.
And they used to beat him down.
That is true.
Mm,
Cleveland does play a part in that.
mm,
Like they
mm.
forget about that, and then
Yeah.
obviously when he got Scotty, and then got the players around him to finally get over the hump of Detroit and finally get to that championship,
Yeah.
etc. That took him. So what? He came in '84. He didn't win a championship for what, 7, 8 years? In 91.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? That's why, and they get so fixated. Oh, well, he did it with
91,
one team.
92, 90,
He
91,
did it.
92, 93.
He did it with
He
one
retired in
team.
94, 95, and won in 96, 97, and 98.
Yeah, he did it with
Okay.
one team. That's what they always say. He did it with one team. So
Yeah.
what? That was his choice. Had Michael
Yeah.
decided that he wanted to leave Chicago
He would
after
have
those
left.
few years before Scotty got there, had they not got Scotty and built that team, he would have left too.
Yeah.
He would have left
Yeah.
too. They forget. They don't want to talk about that
They
or
forget
mention that.
about
But
that.
that's the truth. That is
Yeah.
the truth. Had Michael Jordan not got Scottie Pippen, had he not got guys like Horace Grant, like Robert Parrish, you know what I mean? Who's the fucking other guy that they Bill
BJ
Cartwright,
Armstrong.
BJ Armstrong, Bill Cartwright. Had he not put those
Yeah,
teams
they gave
together,
up. The Knicks gave up Cartwright for Oakley.
yup,
That was a hell of a deal. And the Knicks
yup,
thought they got over. Well, the Knicks did get over, but Cartwright was, you know what I'm saying, he was a pivotal role player in their championship.
yes, that's the truth.
I mean,
They
the
forget
first three
about that though
championship
about
runs.
Jordan. They forget about that at Jordan, and then they talk about Bird and all them
Steve
stayed with the same
Buechler.
team. That was their choice. That was their
Yeah,
choice. I guarantee if you ask any of those guys, had the organizations not built the teams up the right way, they would have left too. They would have
yeah,
left and went to a team that would have
yeah.
then to an organization that said, okay, we're gonna put this player with you, and we're gonna go win championships. They would have did the same thing.
And that's why I'm mad at the Knicks for what they did with my man. But we can go into the next joint. I'm gonna be hush up on that one. I'm gonna say that one for NBA season. I'm gonna say that one for because I don't appreciate what they did to my they treated my dude bad twice. You know what I'm saying? You don't never disrespect 33. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You never
And
disrespect
don't
Pat.
and don't and don't and don't disrespect because Latrell Sprewell and Patrick Ewing was our only two shots at getting the championship in New York.
That's truth.
And management tossed that out the window. But let's go to the Philly
I'm
always
not
hate.
saying the Knicks. I'm not saying the Knicks win that '99 championship against the Spurs as the 8 seed. But if Patrick Ewing was healthy, I feel like their odds would increase greatly.
Even if the Knicks would have won
Their
that
odds
one,
would increase greatly.
even if the Knicks would have won that one, whether Patrick Ewing was healthy or not, I wouldn't have counted it because it wasn't a full season. That was the lockout season. So I would,
is true.
me as a Knicks fan, me as a sports fan, I would have been like, that don't count because it wasn't a full season. You know what I'm saying? And no discredit to the Spurs because Tim Duncan is the best power forward that played the game in my eyes.
Yeah,
Basic
that's true.
fundamentals. Basic fundamentals. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I watched him in
Basic
Michigan
fundamental.
State. You know what I mean?
That's the
But
truth.
that's his championship. He got it. But if the
That's a
Knicks
fact.
would have won it the same way as people that hate on the Spurs, that one don't count because it wasn't a full season. Me as a Knicks fan, yeah, we won a championship, but it was a half season. We stole that. You know what I mean? I'd have been like, we got a free chip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Basically, that's how a lot of people feel about the Lakers bubble championship. That's how a lot of people feel about that.
The bubble fucked everything up.
Yeah,
Right?
it did. Yeah. Just the pandemic
did
fucked
everybody
everything, fucked the
dirty.
whole season up.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next topic, but before we do
Yeah.
that, this is 717 Sports Chat Live. Once again, I'm your host Marcus J. Here with my guest Lorenzo Fairley from
What's going on, y'all?
Fair Game Management Group. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
Gotta give a little shout out to the group out there. You know what I mean? If
Right.
you're an aspiring artist, you're aspiring, podcaster,
Clothing
etc.
designer,
Look up this group.
podcaster,
They'll give
anything
some
you got
promotion.
going on, Fair Game Management Group, we got you. Marketing, promoting, advertising. Clothing line coming soon. Screenplay coming soon. Fair Game the movie. And I'm putting together a little mixtape of All Stars. I'm not a rapper, but it's the soundtrack to the movie. And a couple of other small projects that's going along, slowly but surely coming together. I like shout my man Mark, 717 Sports Chat, you know what I mean? Trying to
Appreciate
get
that.
for a minute. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Anything
already know, brother.
Yeah.
Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe as well as hit that
hit that like and
bell.
subscribe button.
Hit that notification bell so that when I upload a video or when I go live, you get the notification for
You
it.
already know what time it is.
Hit that chat box and let me know what you guys think. We just covered the takeaways from the Draymond Green Kevin Durant interview. If you guys watched that interview, you can go find it on my YouTube page. I got the 11-minute clip from when they talked about why Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City, why he went to Golden State, and what ultimately was the decision for Kevin Durant to leave Golden State. You can check that out on my YouTube page, 717 Sports Chat Live. And now we're going to move on to the next topic, and that is, oh man. My 76ers did it.
Everybody that knows me know I can't stand nothing out of Philly except their cheesesteak egg rolls. And
Philadelphia 76ers have locked up their big man Joel Embiid to a 4-year, $176 million supermax extension, meaning that Joel will now be in Philadelphia for the next 6 years. Is it a good move or a bad move?
2028.
I'm going to start with you on this one. You know the Sixers are my team, so I'm going to start with you on this one. You take the lead on this one. Is Joel Embiid signing this supermax deal with the 76ers a good move or a bad move? And second part of the question is, do you think the Sixers can win a championship within these 6 years?
Okay. On the first part of your question, is it good or bad for who? Because for Joel, it's perfect. What? I'm locked in. Let's just hope I don't come in here fat and overweight because Shaq is going to dig in his ass. Shaq, let me tell you something. He signed that big, he only signed that contract. Mm-hmm. It was a good thing for him. If he coming overweight and out of shape, it was a bad decision for what you call it. And if it turned out like that, here you go. When you're a big man in the league, mm-hmm. and you get money like that, you have to perform. You know what I'm saying? Giannis signed a supermax contract, right?
It's true.
He brought them the championship this year. You know what I'm saying? Because he got tired of everybody digging in his head. Like, come on, y'all can't get over the hump. Now, Philly, y'all signed. Okay, you know what? I'd have took $25 million off, maybe 30, and signed them for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? If not 4 years, because we don't have Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if he can't do nothing else, he could dribble, pass, and defend. You know what I'm saying? Now, the only reason they gave him that max contract is because he was averaging at least 28 and 12 or 13 this season. You know what I mean? Per game.
Second in MVP voting.
Exactly. So it's like, son, I'm a New York fan. And New York fans are like Philly fans. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fact.
The only Philadelphia 76er that ever got a max contract was AI. And he took him to the finals.
Yes.
But then he was going against Kobe and Shaq.
By himself.
What I'm saying? He did by himself. That's right. He did it by himself. He had role players. He didn't have no 1 and 2. You know what I mean? It was just him and a bunch of role players. That's why I said them role players play, you know what I mean, a good team and good defense. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And I took them on it. Yo, right? So here you go. When you go against somebody like Zion, they expect you to shut him down. Not the organization, the fans.
It's true.
Because we paying you all this money. Nigga, 6 years? A Philly fan? You better bring us a championship for the next 6 years, nigga. Negro. You know what I mean? Like, that's how Philly fans feel. Let me tell you something. That's how Knicks fans felt about Carmelo when he messed up the whole environment of the Knicks organization instead of waiting to become a free agent in Denver. If he would have became a free agent in Denver, then came to New York, we would have had a chip because we would have still had Danilo Gallinari, Wilson Chandler, Raymond Felton, Amari still would have been who he was, and we would have had that bench of role players that we did. You know what I mean?
It's true.
It was a good thing for Joel. It was a good thing for Joel, a bad thing for the organization. And what was the second one? Because that one was, or did I answer the second one too?
Well, will the 76ers in this
hell no. Hell no, nah. Yeah, I answered that one first. Yeah, hell no. I know that for a fact. Listen, as long as you got Milwaukee and Brooklyn, nigga, let me tell you something. The only way Philly gonna get a championship is if they got a big 3 team with Darryl Dawkins, Mo Cheeks, and Moses Malone. Charles Barkley, AI on the bench. No, AI starting over Mo Cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me started. What? I go 2K all day. Sixers ain't winning no chip. Not with here go. You see here go. Even if they made it to the finals, you know what's coming out the West? You know what you got. You got what was that big dinosaur that the Dinobots turned into when they transformed together? Remember the Transformers?
I forget. I remember, but I forget. I haven't.
Okay, well, guess what? You got half the doggone United States Olympic team on the Lakers.
It's the truth.
You know what I'm saying? You got 4 gold medalists on the team. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. And Phoenix got an attitude. You know what I mean? And that young boy, DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, he is good. He's pretty good.
Let me tell you something. That boy had Joel Embiid running all over the doggone place. Let me tell you something. Listen, I love cheesesteak. I love cheesesteak egg rolls. But I'm sorry, bro.
All right.
The Raiders will win a Super Bowl within the Las Vegas Raiders will win a Super Bowl within 6 years before the Sixers get a chip.
I'll settle for both.
You know what?
It would be nice. It'll be nice if I can get that.
And y'all gonna play the Jets. Y'all gonna they gonna play the Jets in the AFC Championship game. Because I'm not gonna let you beat the Giants in the Super Bowl. So I'm just let y'all rock out. I said within these 6 years, the Vegas Raiders is gonna get a Super Bowl before the Sixers get a championship. While Embiid is under contract.
When I do the NFL regular season preview, I'm gonna bring you on and we're gonna definitely talk about that. Because I have some things I want to say right now, but I'm gonna keep it for that. I'm gonna save my ammunition for that day. I'm gonna save it for that. I got some shit I want to say, but I'm gonna let it fester. All right.
Let that marinate.
Yup.
Marinate. Throw that in the sandwich bag and let it marinate.
So I agree with you that it's definitely obviously a good deal for Joel Embiid. Obviously, it fattens his pocket, ensures him that he is financially secure, obviously, for the rest of his time in Philadelphia. And
they gave that nigga more money. They gave that nigga more money to get Rihanna. You know he's stalking her.
Oh, it's about $45 million. That's about close to $45 million a year. Now, is it a good move or bad move for Philly? I mean, obviously, I see it as two ways. It's a good move because obviously Ben's out of there. So you got to lock up somebody. You got to lock up. Joel's your best player. There's no doubt about that. When he's on the court, when he's not flopping around, getting himself hurt, and missing games, when he is on the court, he is one of the best players in the league. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. But it's
think that where it tears going last?
That's what I'm getting to. It's like before we came on here live, what we talked about when I said I watched Skip and Shannon earlier, and they were talking about this. And Shannon, I agreed with Shannon. He gets hurt every year. He has not played a full season in his entire NBA
career.
He is missing on an average of at least 20 or more games a year. Now, there's no denying that the MVP, superstar, megastar talent is there. But from a financial standpoint, what you just did is you handcuffed yourself, because what the hell happens if he gets hurt for a full season again?
Matter of fact, remember I brought up Brad Daugherty?
Yes.
Okay, guess what? I got a whole bunch of other players. Here you go. Remember what happened to Vince Carter?
Yes.
Tracy McGrady.
Yep.
Penny Hardaway.
Yep.
Yao Ming.
Yep.
All big contracts.
Yep. After they got those big contracts, they was never the same.
Yep. After that first injury.
Yep. After those first injuries, they were never the same.
So if they wasn't injured like that before and they talents got them those supermax contracts, why would Philly give Joel a supermax contract when he's already known to be injury prone?
And see, and that is my argument for this. And I'm not saying coming off of last season he doesn't deserve it, because obviously last season
he did his thing.
He came into the best shape of his career. He came in and he played MVP caliber basketball, but he still got hurt. And that's my whole argument for this thing is we just paid him $45 million a year to stay for an extra 4 years when we had 2 more years on this existing contract.
Yeah.
To where I think that would have served us better to see if he can stay healthy and stay in shape.
It was a test. That would have been a test.
Yes. I would have waited to at least at the end of next year.
Hey, probation, here you go. You know how you got to stay on the job for 90 days before you get the benefits and shit?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I would have did. I would have seen what was up these 2 years. You know what I mean? And then, like you said, do it like that.
Yes,
Nah,
I would have
man.
waited till the existing contract ran its course because you don't know
Yeah.
what's going to happen next season. You don't know what's happened the following season, especially given his injury history. That's my biggest argument about this extension is, am I going to get this guy on the damn court every single game? I
Yeah.
can't say yes because his whole career he's been hurt. Much to his credit, he has came back from a severe ACL
Okay.
injury that kept him
And
out
those,
2 years.
and those ACL injuries aren't no joke.
No, they're not. But then I look at all these other injuries. It's or time off that he's had. Oh, I have a tummy ache. There's been question about his dedication. You know what I mean? Like, then on top of that,
Once Kobe and Jordan played sick, ain't no excuse.
then
Kobe played with broken
once
bones in his hand.
and that's my thing. Now, granted, much to his credit, he played through this playoffs with a half-torn meniscus. So
Yeah.
he definitely
Yeah.
shown his maturity and somewhat his level of toughness in terms of toughing that out. But then I look at that, your legs as a big man, Greg Oden. Look at Greg Oden.
Hey, yo, the first game of his NBA career blew his tires. Bah! Ain't no. Oh, wait. Jahlil Okafor.
Well, at least he's still around though, so you got to give him that credit. He's not starting,
Yeah,
but he's
he's
still
around
around.
somewhere. Yeah, he's around somewhere.
And honestly,
I think Greg Oden is in the big three now, right?
I'm gonna be honest with you about Jahlil Okafor. I think that kid is talented and was talented. Brett Brown, one, was a terrible coach, and two, we had a terrible organization at that time.
I think he came out too early.
I think that guy
came out too early.
I think on the right team, if Jahlil Okafor, he's still young. He's only 26. You know what I mean? On the right team, if a team, let's say a garbage team, they're looking for a starting center to rebuild around. I think given the right situation, he can show that potential. Look at Rashawn Holmes. Look at Rashawn Holmes.
Yeah.
Look what he's doing in Sacramento. That guy is a fucking stud. I don't give a damn what anybody says.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That guy is good. I like Rashawn Holmes. He's definitely stepped up his game. Mind you, he played from Philly. We've given up so much talent over the years, it's sickening. It really is. It's sickening. And based on terrible deals, terrible signings. Now, I'm not going to say that this signing with Joel is a terrible signing because it isn't, but is it somewhat of a bad move? Yes, given the injury history. Yes. You gave him too much money, you gave him too much time. Because what happens if he blows his load next year and he misses the whole year?
And go Blake Griffin, the Clippers. Yep. Oh my God.
Big men are especially cursed.
It's like they do it on purpose.
It even happened to Shaq. When Shaq got to Miami, he got that big contract from Miami. It was evident. Yes, did Miami win that title that year? Yeah, but Dwayne Wade was the man on that team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he said that too.
You've seen the decline in Shaq. You've seen it.
Yeah. That's when I had to pat him on the back like, hey, yo, big guy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sit down, big guy. Yeah. Go ahead and fuck delicious.
And another thing, why, but most importantly, why to me it's a bad move. Okay. So you're going to get rid of Ben. Okay, you're trying to get rid of Ben. But my whole argument is you have priced your fucking self out by trying to get rid of him. You want a superstar player and 3 first-round draft picks, or at least 2.
That ain't happening.
That's not happening. So now you kind of price yourself out.
They can find anybody to defend. Any team can find a good defender and a good point guard. And one that can shoot.
Yes.
You cannot shoot, Ben. Everything for you is mid-range.
See, I kind of disagree with that, and the only reason why I disagree with that, and is we've had this I had this conversation a little bit with you before the show, is that I generally think the motherfucker can shoot. He just don't want to play in Philadelphia. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. He is holding out his true potential because he does not want to play for the 76ers.
Yes.
When I see
And you see that.
when I see videos of him shooting and making threes, hitting up, shooting mid-range with fluidity, that shows me you can shoot the ball. You are choosing not to because you are sending a message to the organization, I do not want to be here. This is your way of going against – this is your way of bucking the system. That, okay, I'm going to go into these live games and I'm going to egg it the fuck out. Some nights I'll show glimpses so that these other teams –
He's point shaving. He point shaving.
Now, see, he's a perfect example. Now, he's a perfect example of why this could be a bad move for the Sixers, for the simple fact that look at Ben Simmons. Now, the first few years in the league, the first couple years in the league, he looked like he was going to be that guy. Excuse me.
Yeah, bless you. Bless you.
He looked like he was going to be that guy. He did. His first couple years in the league, what? He was averaging 15, 16, 7-7, a couple steals. You know what I mean? But then when we gave him that big contract, well, then he gets hurt. And then the steady decline. The numbers are declining, etc. He gets this big contract, and you see a decline. It's like he can't shoot. He's not making free throws. He's not shooting mid-range. He's not doing anything he was. He wasn't showing the potential that he was after that contract that he got the contract. And that's what scares me about Joel Embiid, because my thing is this: we've questioned his dedication before as fans. Because there's some games.
We re-signed Melo and had to get rid of the nigga.
There's one thing is his dedication. And there's sometimes Joel will go out, and I've seen it. He'll go out and he just look like he's not interested in playing basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the next night, he'll come out and drop 50 on you. Like,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. You know, he playing with the organization's emotions.
By far, this was his most consistent season. But from a standpoint,
all-star season. He was an all-star this year.
And now that you're getting rid of Ben, well, now what are you going to put around Joel? Because you're not going to get much back for Ben unless the Kings are so desperate to get Ben that they give us De'Aaron Fox. Now, if they do that, then if we build around Embiid and Fox right, then I'd say we might have a chance. But even then, I'd still say you got to go out and get a third guy. Because like you mentioned, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, all those teams have three superstars essentially. And then you got to think, teams like the Knicks, the Hawks, the Bulls are fucking coming in. They're coming.
They
coming.
Oh, yes, oh my God. Levine and them boys. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yo. The rest of the East is coming. The rest of the East is coming. And as a fan of basketball, it excites me because it's competition.
Now it's competition in the East.
Now it's competition.
And the seven, here go. In the West, the top 18 got a minimum of 40 wins.
That's a fact.
No, my fault. No.
Yeah.
50.
No,
48.
Not even
48.
a little bit more than that.
48, 49.
Tiny needs your help to bring that headboard.
I'm on live right now. I'm in the middle of doing something right now.
I'm going to go with the notion of at least 44 average.
Yeah.
On a full season, on a full 82-game season.
Season. Because, see, here you go. The top 5 seeds in the West got 50 games. Like, Utah and San Antonio is the most 50th winningest teams, 50-game winningest teams, easy, and Phoenix a couple of years. So in the East, you can make the playoffs with 36 wins.
Yup.
You could be the 7th seed with 37 wins. You know what I'm saying?
I think
in the East,
this year
it's going to be a different level.
It's going to
be a different level.
This is going to be the year the East is rising back.
Yeah.
The East is going to rise back this year.
Yeah.
And then, not to mention teams like Charlotte. Charlotte's going to be a team to watch too because they have a good young team.
Uh-huh.
They're going to compete for. I'm not saying they're going to be that 5, 6, 7 seed, but they'll be in that 8. They'll be around that 8. They'll be in the conversation for the last spot.
They're gonna keep the ball boy. They're gonna keep the ball boy and build around him. They got a nice little squad.
Well, they just signed his brother too. So, well, no, they're trying out his brother.
Yeah, because he was playing summer league.
Yeah, but that's my whole thing. It's like now with Ben obviously being out the door, what can you get back for him? And then, okay, my thing is this. Let's say you get rid of Ben and you just take whatever you can get for him, right? Well, now what do you have to offer Portland if you really want Dame Lillard?
Oh, nah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening.
Apparently, all right, so these are the 3 teams that have been in talks with the 76ers for Ben Simmons. Minnesota, Sacramento, and Portland. Portland, they're willing to give up either CJ McCollum or Dame Lillard, but the Sixers are overpricing themselves. They wanted Dame Lillard plus like 2 first-round picks.
No, because Dame is a better player than Ben Simmons. No. Portland should get. I'm giving you Dame Lillard. You give me 2 first-round draft picks and Ben Simmons.
That's what I'm saying. We're sitting there.
The other way around. Philly, I'm not giving you no first-round draft picks for no fucking Ben Simmons. How my man saying on Deezus and Mero, suck my shit from the back. Ain't nobody doing none of that.
Well, see, it's not that they can't get a first rounder for him. It's just how many they're asking for. Because you can at least get a mid-first rounder for Ben, being that he is a multiple-time All-Star and he is a multiple-time All-Defensive player. You know what I mean? That does account for something. You know what I mean? So they won't get a top 10 pick for Ben. I don't believe that.
No, but that's the thing.
You'll get a top 15, maybe top 20 pick. But my thing is this. You're asking Portland to not only give you Dame Lillard, but you want 2 at the max, 2 first-round picks in return for just Ben Simmons? You got to give up more than that.
No.
You got to be the one to give up more than that. Portland don't have to do anything. Portland, you're the one knocking on Portland's door asking about Dame Lillard.
They're going to say because Chauncey Billups is the coach.
And I said that too. I said that too because once Chauncey became the coach, I said, you know what? I think if there's anybody that could talk Dame in the stand, it's Chauncey. Because Chauncey just has that about him. He does because he comes from the old school. You know what I mean? Yeah. Much like a Ty Lue, much like a Doc Rivers. You know what I mean? Much like who's the fucking other one? It's Ty Lue,
Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd. Yeah, Jason Kidd. Remember, he was down with Dallas, the 3 J's.
Yeah,
it was Jason Kidd, Jamal Man.
The reason why you want to know why I don't give Jason Kidd that credit? Because everywhere he's been, the reason why it doesn't work is because of how it's always been said, how arrogant and how ignorant he is. Apparently, that doesn't work with the players. His coaching style doesn't work with the players. You know what I mean? Now, maybe in Dallas, because he has that connection with that fan base, with that organization. You know what I mean? And plus, look at Mark Cuban. You know what I mean? Mark Cuban is a very outspoken figure.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd is a very outspoken figure himself. So that kind of meshes. You know what I mean? Now, the question will remain with Jason Kidd, will that mesh with Luka Doncic? He has a track record of it not working, so that's why it concerns me with Jason Kidd. But yeah, throw him in the hat, Jason Kidd. These old school type players, you know what I mean? Monty Williams.
Yeah. And what said was we had him. The Knicks had him. We drafted him. And if I'm correct, we drafted him and John Wallace around the same time, if not a year apart from each other.
Yeah, I remember
It
when
was
you guys drafted
John
John Wallace.
Wallace.
The 96 draft, because John Wallace, yeah, that was the 96 draft. Yup. That's when John Wallace was originally slated to go in the top 10, and he slid.
Oh, wait a minute. Nah. Wait a minute.
96 draft.
No, because that was the best NBA draft on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
That was Steph, AI, Kobe.
Because remember,
Ray
that's
Allen.
why. That's why he slid too.
Yeah, that's right. Because him and Kerry Kittle slid.
Him
and Kerry Kittle slid because Kerry Kittle was the only senior that was coming out of Villanova, and he was supposed to be in the top, and he slid like a motherfucker. And Jersey was happy he slid.
Yup. That's a fact, bro. That is a fact. You know what I mean? But
Marcus Camby.
But just for me, as a 76ers fan, I'll put it this way. Right now, as of right now, it looks more like a bad move than a good move based on injury history and based on we don't know what's going to happen with the Ben Simmons situation, what we're going to get back for him and the aftermath of that. So right now it looks like a bad move, but what Daryl Morey does next is going to determine how bad a move this is, or if it turns into a good move for me. I mean, it's all about what Daryl Morey decides to do. He's got to pull the strings he was pulling in Houston. He's got to show me something, man, because I don't like it. Because my thing is, too, you're going to waste it. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Joel stays healthy. And these next 4 years, he plays every single game. No injuries, no lack of dedication. He's playing at the top level that he can play at. Well, if you don't put the right players around him, you're going to waste his talent's prime.
And wear his body down.
Exactly. And that's what concerns me about this whole situation is you just signed him to this deal not knowing what lies ahead with this Ben Simmons situation.
You could have took advantage of your option.
Thank you. You could have waited one more season to get this deal done. And much to Joel's credit, he did this deal with no agent. And I'm sorry, that's a good move on his part, but that just shows you how fucking stupid Philly is. I'm sorry. That shows you how
he ain't got to give up that 15%.
Nope.
Or 30,
that also
20%.
shows you how Philly is not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not opposed to players taking control of their own destiny and getting all the money they can get. I'm on board for that. But from an organizational standpoint, you just proved how fucking stupid you are because you just let this guy who hasn't played
you
just let this guy who hasn't played a full season, who has been injury riddled, con you out of making being the highest paid big man in the league now.
Yep.
And that's what exactly he did. He conned you out of paying him the highest paid big man in the league money. Now, and then on top of that, you've also questioned his dedication, as I said before. So not only did you just sign a guy with injury history, you signed a guy who's had weight problems and dedication issues to a 4-year extension as opposed to waiting till next year to see how this Ben Simmons situation plays out.
The meniscus, the Ben Simmons, the meniscus, the ACL, and the lower back.
Thank you. Like, you could have waited. They could have waited. I would have rather than wait till after next season to get this deal done.
And that Ben know what it is, so he really gonna violate.
Yes.
If they don't move him, he's gonna violate.
I'll be honest. If we don't get Ben out of there, I can see Joel asking for a trade.
Yeah.
He got to go.
Ben is going to violate. Because here you go. Any player that knows that he's going to be traded and then they don't trade him and he's stuck there, just like Carmelo. He did that in Denver to come to New York.
I can see Ben holding out. He doesn't want to be there.
He don't
want to be there. And this is what I'm calling it right now. Remember I told you this, oh Lord. Remember I told you this. Remember I told you this. Ben Simmons, when he goes to his new team, whoever new team that may be,
He gonna shit on him.
I guarantee Ben Simmons is going to be at least a 36% three-point shooter and be shooting mid-range. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
And his total, he's going to be at least at the bare minimum a 20-point scorer. I guarantee it.
20 points, 2.2 steals, 20 points, 2.2 steals, 7.3 assists, 8.7 rebounds.
I guarantee it.
I can see that.
That's the general feel I have. My thing is, when I see these training videos in the offseason of him shooting, etc., that just tells me everything I need to know. You don't want to be here. Well, good. Get the fuck out. Good. Get the fuck off my team then. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? You want to play fucking games? I ain't got time to play games. We trying to win championships. We haven't won a championship since 83.
Hey, man. Let me tell you something, man. Look, I know what Ben feels like. You know what I'm saying? Every time I travel to Pennsylvania by bus or train, I got to stop off in Philly. You know what I mean? And like, I look how long he been out there, right? He got tired of looking at that shit every morning, waking up like, oh man, I can't do this. Oh my God.
No, you know what I think it really is? He can't handle the harsh criticism from
fans. No, this is what I'm saying. The fans is animals out there. The fans is animals. Hey, yo, son, you know how many of my Ranger fans got fucked up by Philadelphia Flyer fans?
Listen. My thing is
son, it was 2 Giant fans. Yo, son, oh my God. Oh, it was 2 Giant fans sitting in the stands surrounded by a sea of eagles. Like, oh my God, one of the niggas was a cop.
Oh wow.
The Giant fan was a cop, and them niggas from Philly, they didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Yo, they used to use the old they used to use the old arena to lock niggas up. They used to be like, yo, we got free football tickets. Come to the game for free. Motherfuckers come to the game, they got warrants and shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and yo, Ben got to go.
Yeah,
Philly,
he gotta go, man.
Yo,
I mean, my thing is this: the harsh
either he go or Philly gonna have to kiss his ass.
And I've seen this post before, and this was actually from a fellow 76er fan who had posted on one of the Sixers group pages that I'm in, and Danny Green had made this quote saying that Philly fans, when you're doing good, they love you, but then when you're doing bad, they hate you. You should keep the same energy, but like when you shouldn't put us down when we're already down. You should be lifting us up. And to some degree, I understood that, but then this is where I said, listen, my thing is this. Y'all getting paid millions and millions of dollars to perform the sport that you love to play. We as fans
are paying. You win all the time.
We are paying.
I want to see you do shit.
We are paying not only ticket money, but also our cable providers to watch you play the game. Now,
jersey merchandise.
The criticism isn't to bring you down. The criticism is to lift you up because we know you can fucking play better.
Yep.
It's that simple. It's not to hurt your fucking feelings. It's not to say, oh, you're a piece of shit or you don't ball, you can't ball. No, it's to simply tell you, we know you're not living up to the fucking potential that you can
be paying
and that's what you should be. Simple.
And Danny Green, you always been a role player. You shouldn't even said nothing out your mouth. Cause you are like the new Robert Ory. You running around the league chasing the ring. Come on now.
But much to Danny Green's credit, he contributes. He's a role player that contributes. He's always been that guy. He'll pop threes for you. He'll rebound for you. Most things, you know what I respect about that defense. You know what I mean? He plays defense. You know what I mean? And why I don't hate on Danny is because it was Saul in that Atlanta series. When we got eliminated in the second round, we missed Danny Green a lot. We did. In terms of experience, playing on those championship caliber teams, being a contributor. and experience. You know what I mean? That we really missed that. So I'm really glad we actually made that deal to bring Danny back. I like Danny Green. Yeah, he's not a world beater. He's not a superstar, but he's a solid cog in the system.
Well,
And you need guys like that. You need solid vets like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, but the criticism, you know what I mean, isn't to bring these players down. It's to honestly
make them better.
Subliminally lift them up. That should make you angry. I'm sorry.
The shit that Joy used to say to his teammates. Shit.
If somebody were to come on the stream right now and say, hey, we think that you can do a better job with your show, and we think you can do a better job, presenting yourself on camera, etc. I'm not going to get mad. I'm taking that as a compliment. I'm taking that as a compliment in so many ways, because that means that person sees something in me to the point to where I can improve upon. They see the potential that I have on this camera, on this microphone.
Yeah.
I just need to tweak a certain little bit of stuff. I'm not going to take that as harsh criticism or be like, well, fuck you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh, you fans or you people
why
have
you
an opinion. Yeah, why you hating?
Why don't you talk to them other niggas?
I embrace that, because then that gives me fuel to, you know what? All right, maybe this is what I can do to implement.
You know what I mean?
Yes, to advance into
another level.
Yes, let me see. Okay, you know what I mean? I know I can't air the fights or the games because of copyrights, you know what I mean? But let me do a live commentary about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me do this. Let me do that. You know what I mean? It's all about adapting and improving. And with Ben Simmons, from what I've seen in Ben Simmons, he doesn't want to adapt to harsh criticism. He's a soft player. He's one of those guys that you can't get in his face. You got to be gentle with Ben. Yes, you got to coddle him. And you was in the wrong sports city if you think you're going to be coddled in Philadelphia.
Yeah, when you talk to Ben, you got to talk in Michael Jackson voice and shit. You got to sing the song to him, whatnot.
Basically, you got to coddle him.
Ben, you don't want to be in Philly no more.
I think we can both agree. In Philadelphia, you're not going to get fucking coddled. Us Philly fans are going to rip you a new fucking asshole if you're not playing.
Hey, yo, they're going to be smacking that nigga with all types of cheesesteaks.
This is honestly, in all honesty, this is the storyline of the NBA offseason, is what Philadelphia can and what was going to happen with Ben Simmons. Where will he go?
He better go. He fuck around and end up in the big three.
Well, Golden State wants him.
Well, he would be he'd be a good fit there because they don't need him to shoot there.
No.
So when he do start shooting, that'll throw him off. But then who Golden State gonna give up?
They offered Andrew Wiggins and Moses Moody.
Oh, take that. But they thought they was gonna get a first round draft pick. Moses Moody been set playing the good.
I'm not saying about Moses Moody. I'm saying about Andrew Wiggins. I don't want Andrew Wiggins. My thing is this: to me, Ben Simmons is a better overall player than Andrew Wiggins. Period. You know what I mean? I don't want Andrew Wiggins.
Because he didn't have a good season this year.
He had an okay season, but that kid was supposed to be like the next big star. Like they dubbed that kid when he came out the next one. And he's streaky.
But when
best.
he was living under the shadow of Karl Anthony Towns.
But you got to think he's been on Golden State. Clay was injured. You know what I mean? He's not he doesn't play consistently. That's always been his knack. One night he'll put up 25, maybe get you even 30. You know what I mean? And then the next night he'll get you 10 points. Yeah,
I said 15. He only gave me 10.
You know who he reminds me a lot of?
He only gave him 10.
You know who he reminds me a lot of? J.R. Smith.
You know who reminded me of Leonard? Harrison Barnes.
I like Harrison though. I think he came off he's coming off his best season in Sacramento.
Yeah, but it had to take him to get to Sacramento in order to have one of his best seasons.
That's true. It kind of sucks that he didn't do that in Dallas, because imagine if he did work out in Dallas.
No, that's why. It kind of sucks he didn't do it in Golden State, because when he left, that's when KD slid in and he got that chip.
That's true. Well, yeah, because he went and chased that big money. He got that big money contract. He went and got that bag from Dallas.
And he still got that bag when he ended up in Sacramento.
Well, it's going to be really interesting to see. Like I said, basically, Joel Embiid's contract, this move, rides on what we do with Ben Simmons and what we get back. And like I said, from Golden State, me personally, I don't want Andrew Wiggins. Like I said, but if that's what it's going to take to get this motherfucker off of my team and out of my fucking favorite basketball city, fuck it. Just do it. Just get it over with. Just get it over with.
Well, only thing I'm gonna say is,
but I'd rather trade for De'Aaron fucking Fox. That's who I'd rather trade for.
Let me tell you something. Sacramento ain't letting De'Aaron go.
I don't know. Well, they're gonna have to give up somebody. I don't want Buddy Hield. No offense to Buddy Hield, but I don't want him. Unless you're going to give me DeAndre, unless you're going to give me both.
Oh, see, nah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what? You know what? You know, that can't be that is possible.
Hold on. You know who else I would take off Sacramento?
What game system do you got? Because you can make it happen.
I want to get the new Xbox. But you know who I would make a deal for? Now, obviously, it would have to flip around, and Sacramento will obviously have to give us a little bit more. But I would trade Ben, and I would take that kid Tyrese Halliburton in a few draft picks. I like Halliburton.
No,
I like Halliburton.
No.
I like
He
Halliburton.
stays in Sacramento. No, because he's not going to like Philly. Yeah, you like him, but he don't like Philly. Sacramento don't know.
You don't know that?
No, he's too good of a player to waste his talents in the city of fuckery love.
He's wasting his talents in fucking Sacramento. Sacramento hasn't had a winning season since when?
Chris Webber in them.
Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
hey, yo, listen, let me tell you something. The best thing to come out of Sacramento was Boogie Cousins. That was it. And they fucked his career
he's
up.
He's kind of washed now.
They fucked his career up.
See, I like Halliburton because he's a good facilitator and he can shoot. And he's young. The upside, it's the upside. That's what I like about Tyrese Halliburton. And given our limited options, if they're not willing to give up De'Aaron and they're not willing to really give up Buddy Hield, which I'm cool with Buddy Hield, not coming to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you're not willing to give up De'Aaron Fox, well, I'll take Halliburton, a guy with tremendous upside. He showed tremendous upside last year when DeAndre was out those few games. He showed that upside. He
stepped up. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He stepped the fuck up.
That's what I'm saying. So, and we're going to obviously need a point. That's obviously what we're going to need. We're getting rid of Ben. He's our point forward, but he's obviously our point guard. We're going to need somebody who can be a floor general. He showed that he can be a floor general. And I like the upside. So if Sacramento will give me Tyrese Halliburton and maybe a mid-first round or a late first-round pick, I'll take that for Ben. Get fucked by good riddance. Because I think Tyrese Halliburton, in all honesty, has the potential to already be better than Ben Simmons.
He do.
You know what I mean? He's
still young. He do. Let me tell you something.
He's already a better shooter. All he has to do at this point is obviously shore up the defense. But,
that's it.
That's it. But then at the same time, you can also
his
go get
defense will
guys
get
to do
better.
that.
His defense will get better as long as his teammates have his back.
But see,
As
now
long
that
as
I
his
think
teammates.
about it though, we kind of already have that with Halliburton and Tyrese Maxey.
See,
Man, we are in a fucking dilemma, man. Like,
yeah,
fuck.
and it's all Ben's fault.
It is.
It's all Ben's fault
It is. He fucked us. He
because
fucked us real good.
he won an Ice Cube. He won an Ice Cube dissing NWA y'all with no Vaseline. No, Joel Embiid did that. He fucked the shit out the organization with no agent.
Yep, no agent. He did. And I'm sorry. That shows you just how fucking stupid that Elton Brand. I've been saying this motherfucker got to get out of
He not even an
Oklahoma.
American citizen.
He
He
got
not
to
even an
go.
American citizen. He not even from America. And he walked into the city and see, he know about the city of fuckery love. He know about the city of fuckery love. He ain't, I go in there myself. I talk to them like the prince that I am. You gonna give me 6 years supermax contract. 50 million a year. Okay, 47, 46 a year. Oh yeah. And make sure you get the yacht for Rihanna for me. Thank you very much. I signed that. And he did all that shit. He did all that without an agent. And these other agents is running around with their hair screwed loose trying to figure out what's going on. He done messed the whole game up. With him doing something like that, he done messed the game up for the rest of the agents in the league. You know what I mean? That NBA players just going straight to the organization themselves. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
True. That is true. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, but it just shows how fucking stupid of a front office we have. You know what I mean? Because I'm sorry, there's no way you let a player. I'm sorry. Now, like I said, now I would put it this way: I'd feel more comfortable with this if Joel didn't have the injury history that he had and the dedication issues that he has had.
Yeah.
Then I'd feel more comfortable. Being that there is red flags still coming with him, I'm just like. And then on top of that, this deal doesn't ensure that we're going to win a fucking championship.
Uh-huh. It damn sure don't.
So, especially with an Eastern Conference that like we just talked about, that is rapidly growing better.
Dangerous.
Very. It started with Atlanta last year. It started with Atlanta. And I said this, when Atlanta when they made all those moves and they got Bogdanovich and they got Danilo Gallinari and they got, all these guys to put around that young core. I was I said, Atlanta's going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem for a lot of fucking teams.
Atlanta is always a problem in the playoffs, especially if you look at their history of being in the playoffs, they're always in that 4th, 5th, or 6th seeded spot. From the time when they had Doc Rivers and Dominique, they was always in that 4th, 5th, and 6th spot. And they always ended up facing against the Knicks or Boston and doing them dirty. You know what I mean? But this just so happens now you got that boy Trae Young. Bogdanovich always been a motherfucking monster.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I like him. You know what I mean? I like him. You know what I'm saying? He's a hell of an athlete. You know what I mean? And he's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? When he's on that court and he's shooting it, he's disrespectful.
He'll shoot your fucking eyeballs out.
Oh my God.
He'll shoot your eyeballs out.
I fucks with him on the video games. You know what I mean? I mess with him on the video games. You know what I mean? Dudes be like, yo, why you beating me with this dude, with this team? No, because I know how certain players play. I watch them in real life on TV. You know what I mean? So I know what they, you know what I'm saying, what their specialty is. Here go, like KD said, I knew what my role was when I got Golden State.
Fact.
You know what I mean? So with Ben, you need to know your role if you don't get traded this season. You know what I'm saying? Right. And if you do get traded, let's hopefully you get traded to a team that they can give you a role that you're comfortable with. You know
He's
what I
getting
mean?
out of there.
You know what I
He's
mean?
not going to play. I can see him holding out. I don't see him playing for the Sixers again. Like, and good
Right.
riddance. You know what I mean? Because my thing is
Right.
this: we did everything we could to accommodate him. You know what I
The
mean?
only thing that's
He
gonna go down is if they Detroit and Blake Griffin up.
what to Brooklyn?
No, I said if they
Oh,
Detroit and
oh,
Blake
oh,
Griffin in,
oh, oh, oh! I got you.
buy out his contract and then cut him.
That's possible. It's
If
not
he's considered
impossible.
that much a problem, if he's considered that much of a problem, that's what they do.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I just personally think that he is going. Him himself, he's not. If you've already cut off all ties with the organization, you're not going to play.
That's it.
You're not. It's over. You know what I mean? So it's all about like we said, this Joel Embiid deal rides on what the 76ers do in the aftermath of trading for Ben Simmons and also adding they have to add superstars. They gotta hope that players I mean, you still got Bradley Beal out there. I'll happily take Bradley Beal. I'll happily take Bradley Beal.
Washington will destroy his career before they let him go to Philly. They're not gonna put him in the same conference that they're going against.
I think they will.
Not in no trade.
I think so because you got to look at it like this too. Washington's not; they're rebuilding, so they're nowhere in near the
I see
conversation.
Bradley Beal. I see Bradley Beal in Portland with Damian Lillard.
But that's if they're going to do that. I mean, you might as well keep C.J. McCollum for all that because C.J. McCollum
Get
is
rid of
almost a
CJ.
player.
CJ, no, but Bradley's better than CJ.
From a scoring perspective, but from an overall perspective, I would take C.J. McCollum because he's shown that he can push the ball up the court, he can assist, he can play better defense than Bradley Beal. I mean, Bradley's an incredible scorer. There's no doubt about that. You know what I mean? That's why I wouldn't mind him coming to Philly. You know what I mean? But from an overall perspective, if I'm Portland, I'd feel like I'd be getting somewhat of the same. I mean, how would that work? You know what I mean? They'd have to obviously trade C.J. McCollum. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But to me, you're kind of getting the
They got
same
enough
player.
space because Carmelo gone. They just signed Powell to a contract.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I don't think personally for me that I don't think that's a good fit. I mean, it could happen, but I just feel like for all that, you might as well keep C.J. McCollum also because of the chemistry between him and Dame. You know what I mean? So if I'm Portland, I don't know about Bill. Now maybe Boston, but then at the same time, they got their hands full as well with Jaylen Brown and Jason
Jason
Tatum.
Tatum.
That's why I think in terms of a fit, especially with us getting rid of Ben, I think Bradley Bill would. If Portland's not leaving off a Dame, Bradley Bill is easily the best fit choice for Philadelphia because he
That's your
feels
team, so you're gonna say that. I believe you.
he fills the void that haunted us
That's
in the
our
playoffs.
mission.
Scoring.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but it really wasn't scoring that different for Atlanta to run through y'all the way they did. It was expected for them to do what they do to the Knicks. Every time they faced the Knicks in the playoffs, they did them dirty. But for them to run through the number 2 in the MVP voting the way they did, the way they ran through Tobias Harris, I'm not a fan, but as a fan, I was disgusted because it was like nobody watched tapes. Nobody watched film. If you know this guy is one of the best facilitators up and coming in this game right now, you're supposed to bring everything, the kitchen sink, the bathtub, you know what I'm saying? The big green dumpster for the abandoned building that you vacating and cleaning out and gutting. Like, Philly's always been known in all sports as a good defensive team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In all sports genres, they've been known for good defense. in basketball, Joel Embiid, let's just say Ben is out the door. They're going to have to build not only some hardcore shooters, but they're going to need some hardcore defenders. And with him getting that big contract like that, with Joel getting that big contract like that, what superstar is going to want? Because at the end of the day, if he get any other superstar that plays his position or demands the ball as he demands the ball, here you go. Depending on the minutes that he played, you figure he's averaging 40 minutes a game, and there's 48 minutes in a game. So he's getting 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? If you put another superstar on the court with him, look at what, here you go. We discussed it earlier before we came on. Look at what happened with Derrick Rose not coming off the bench against Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? He started. So when he started, that messed up Julius Randle's, that messed up his flow. You know what I'm saying? So y'all really need to step your defensive game up. So you got Joel, you got Danny Green. You know what I mean? Tobias.
I don't think it's really a defensive thing because we were the #1 rated defensive team in the league last year, and that's why I said Danny Green getting hurt in that series against Atlanta hurt.
Y'all was supposed to run through. Y'all was supposed to run through Atlanta, and y'all let them treat y'all like a bunch of high school kids playing basketball.
Yeah, but you want to know why? But see, that's not entirely true because it wasn't like they blew us. It's not like the first game was the only game that got out of hand in terms of double digits. All the other games were were very close single digit games or whatever. Now, if you have a guy, so let's say like the one game we lost when we blew that 26-point lead and we lost by 5 points, right? Ben Simmons scored 6 points in that game. Have we had a guy like Bradley Beal who's a scorer who averages 25 a game? That's a 19-point increase. We win those games. All those games ended up being close. Ben Simmons' lack of aggression or lack of having scores when Seth Curry outside of Joel Embiid is your leading scorer, that tells you it's offense.
No, but see, and here's the thing. That's the disgusting thing about it because they had the 26-point lead. You know what I mean? So for you to blow a 26-point lead, that means to be the #1 defense in the league, you underestimated that young up and coming. Danilo Gallinari was coming in violent.
Yeah, they stopped playing defense. They stopped. They got comfortable and they stopped playing defense. But that doesn't mean in that instance, that obviously not playing defense hurt them. You know what I mean? But for most of the series, Atlanta was giving them a run anyway. And the lack of scoring in pivotal moments is what did us in. Especially,
but it wasn't just. We just can't blame Ben Simmons for that. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't the only one who was having problems scoring either.
Yeah, Tobias obviously had his issues scoring. But my thing with Ben, why we can blame Ben Simmons more is because of his failure to shoot. When you spin off on Gallinari and you have a clear-cut dunk, nobody's underneath the rim with you. Go up and dunk. You pass the ball. It's the lack of willing to shoot. It's the lack of willing to be aggressive. That's what eventually did us in. We needed him to be more aggressive, especially being that he's supposed to be the #2. Outside of Embiid, he's supposed to be our second biggest star. Tobias, yes, he's getting max money, which that was another stupid deal we fucking did giving him all that money. But everybody knows that Tobias he's a third wheel. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ben Simmons, he got the max contract. He's seen as the second best player overall on the team outside of Joel Embiid. So for him to not be aggressive at all.
Ben Simmons is pulling a LeBron James in his last year in Miami.
Yeah,
he's pulling LeBron James and D Wade is Joel Embiid.
We needed Ben to be that guy, especially for how gifted he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We needed him to step up. You know what I mean? And he chose not to. And in all honesty, I would not be surprised if this offseason we end up trading Tobias Harris too.
Oh yeah, let him go. Yeah. You know what it is? Here you go. You know, after a team continues to lose so many times, they finally decide to break the team up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now is the time. Now is the time.
I agree with that.
You know
I
what I
agree
mean?
with that.
Because y'all roll with them too long and y'all can't get over the hump.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean?
You
Like
want to know
when
when I felt
Milwaukee,
like? You know when I felt like we had it? You know what we should have did? We should have let Ben go and kept Jimmy Butler.
see, yeah, yeah,
So when we had
that
it.
would have been better. Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
also what we should have did was when we had, in terms of the best team around Joel and Ben, when we had Saric, Covington, you know what I mean, Ilyasova.
yeah.
That was the best core team that we had around those guys until we obviously got Jimmy Butler, but we had to give up those core pieces, which is why the experiment with Jimmy Butler didn't work to the effect that we wanted it to, because you
But they
gave
didn't
up
give
those
it a chance
calls.
to.
Yes, that
They
chemistry
didn't
got
give it
broken up.
and he got the fuck up out of there.
Yup. And not how can I forget JJ Redick?
He too
Like,
old.
you know what I mean? But I'm talking about in a couple years ago when we had him, he was
Yeah.
still he was producing, you know what I mean? And stuff. And he is up there now, but I still think he's a guy who can come off the bench and still be like a Steve Kerr, bang a couple threes for you.
Well, he's trying to come back.
No, I
But
think
he's
he's
not.
still in Dallas.
Yeah, yeah, but he was trying to come back.
Yeah.
He was trying to come back when they was doing all that with Blake Griffin. Before him and Marcus Aldridge
He
and
wanted to
all
go
that.
to the Nets.
Yeah, he wanted to come back. He just like, fuck that. I'm gonna come back. I want to come back home. Nah, nigga, stay where you at. Stay where you at.
I know that's right, bro.
For real.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here for the rest of the night. We done covered all the topics that we wanted to cover for this evening. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's
sir.
another
Yes, sir.
717 episode. Greatly appreciate the support, the views. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as well as hit that bell button for the notifications so that you know when I'm going live and you know when I'm making an upload post. Back. You know what I mean?
Like and subscribe.
Speaking of which, I gotta get those special effects features where I can do that.
Oh yeah.
When I say it and I point to it, it pops up and says,
Yeah,
I need
no,
to
listen,
find
we need
that.
a sound card for that one. Yeah.
I do.
That ain't no problem. I'll get you one of those, bro.
Yeah, brother, definitely.
Yeah.
Brother Lorenzo, I appreciate you coming on the stream with me. Hopefully, we can find some time to do some more streams together and shit. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
If you can't get a hold of me, you can get a hold of my alter ego, Chico Diamonds.
You already know. You already know, brother.
Yeah,
Like I said,
and you know that dude is nuts.
I'm definitely going to be in touch. We're going to definitely do more of these together, brother.
Yes, we definitely got the politics, brother.
No
I
doubt
love you.
about
This is a beautiful night. You know what I'm saying? This is a beautiful night. Yeah, I can't wait till my man see this one. Yeah.
I know that's right,
717 Sports Chat Live. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. You heard Lorenzo say it. This is 717 Sports Chat Live. I'm your host,
Have a beautiful night.
That's Lorenzo Fairley, and we are out for the night, ladies and gentlemen. And the 717, stay blessed and abroad. Be safe out there, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy your night.
God bless.